Hi everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie and today is another organization video. And today I'm going to tackle this cart. I alluded to this in one of my previous videos that I had tried repurposing this cart and that I just didn't like it. And basically this cart used to house my 8.5 by 11 paper. I used to have hanging files across here at one point, and it worked great. I loved it, and I just outgrew it. And so what ended up happening is I repurposed this, put this into my dining room, used it for office purposes, and then that changed recently as well. So it came originally with a metal top, but I lost it somewhere in the last 15 years since I've had this thing. And so I tried to create a new top for it using this foam core board, and I had it attached to this tray, or what do you call it, this homemade tray from this, it's for lights, for overhead lights. And this is all banged up, it's not looking really great. It's just not as functional as I would like it to be. So I purchased, and I splurged, and I purchased the Tim Holtz cart, his last one that he just brought out. And I got a pretty good deal on it, relatively speaking. The original price I think was close to $150, and I think I spent about $100 on it. So it's still pricey, don't get me wrong, but I feel much better about it coming down that much. I actually purchased it off of officesupply.com. I think they had it on sale for just over $100 or $110 or something like that. And then I had a coupon, so I was able to drop it a little bit more. So I do need to reconfigure things because of the way the Tim Holtz cart is. It is, I think, 3-tiered, but it's got all baskets, so it doesn't have a shelf like this. So I need to kind of figure out what I want to put where, and I don't have an exact plan other than I think I'm going to reconfigure this Razzcog cart. This has got all my coloring supplies in it. And I love the size of the Razzcog cart. I love the idea of the Razzcog cart. I just don't really care for the second and third shelves because I find it hard to get things in and out. So when it comes to my coloring materials, you know, I'm pulling those out, and I do have them in little containers so that I can pull them out fairly easily, but I think that would just make more sense to be in those bins. This other Razzcog cart I have here, hopefully I don't make you sick. This here houses my mega kit for my South American album that I'm working on. And then I decided to use the bottom for current projects that I'm continuing to work on. And then I don't even know what I have at the very bottom. I really don't. Oh, it's more stuff for the album. So the top shelf and the bottom shelf, this includes stamps and stuff like that for the album, and then this is all the supplies. So, and I like this because I can just wheel it up to my desk, use it. So I'm going to keep that as a project cart. So it's this one that I'm going to look at and reconfigure. Now, the biggest thing that I've noticed, or the thought I have, I guess, about the new cart, is that it has a flat top, which is great, and I could put my Sizzix Big Shot on there, which is ideal, but I do have my sewing machine that needs a home. And because there's no other shelves, that might have to live on top of the cart. And I might just have to have my Big Shot on my desk, which is not the end of the world because, let's be real, it's probably there anyways because it's not on here. Anyways, so let me go put that cart together and then I'll show it to you, and then I will do some organizing and show you the end results. Okay, so here's the cart all assembled. It was relatively easy to put together. Actually the hardest part was they had the drawers or the baskets stuck into each other. So, you know, they had one basket and then this one stacked in, and I guess through the travel and shipping and everything, it really got wedged in there pretty good. So that was probably the hardest part of the entire thing, was to pull those apart. They do come with plastic shelf liners, which is great. I was thinking that it wasn't great that they were wire baskets, and I would have done that myself. It's not like super thick plastic, so you can still feel the wires coming through. So I probably wouldn't put anything in these that you were concerned about picking up indentations from the wires, if that makes sense. Let me pull over my Rascog and we'll see what we can move into here. So this is the largest basket, and I think I want to use this for all my alcohol markers. And how I am currently storing my alcohol markers are in these cuffed fabric bins. I got these from Container Store, and unfortunately they're not selling them anymore. They do have one cuff bin, I think it's a herringbone style, but really this kind of look is not in there. So I'm thinking that I should be able to fit the 6 containers that I have in here easily, and I'm hoping maybe I can fit a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like 6 is going to be the max. So this is not ideal. So I need to reconsider how I'm storing these, because I want to maximize the use of this bin, and you can see there's clearly pockets of space that I can fill stuff in. The other thing is I am maxed out on these pretty much. I mean, I've got a little bit of space in the reds, and but the rest, reds and corals, but the rest of them are pretty full. I mix all the different brands of alcohol markers I have together. So for instance, I have Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. I've got some from Stampin' Up. I have, what is this, Chromatics. I can't even think of all the names. I've got some Tonic Studios, so Nouveau. So I've got those in here. And I just mix them by color, and I use them intermixed together. If the blend works, the blend works. I don't get too worked up about which brand I'm using. Like I said, I've got this other bin. I would really like to fit these all in here. So I'm going to do a little bit of thinking and see what I can do to make this work. Okay, so my color-based markers, I have my Stampin' Up! Ones here. These are like Faber-Castell double-tipped. I just moved those out of one of these metal bins into here because I had room. They're basically the same kind of thing, so I'm okay with them being in that bin. I pulled this bin from my stash of extras. This is actually a Tupperware container. And the reason why I did that is because it's not tapered. So it's as wide at the top as it is at the bottom. Whereas these tins are slightly tapered, which means you can't fit as much in them as a result. So there is a little bit of room in here, but I don't think I have anything else that I want to put in there right now at this time. But I'm okay with that, because basically I've taken these 2 tins and only added this one to replace it. So I've condensed everything. These are my Pitt pens, which are an Indian ink, and I have a little bit of room here in case I ever purchase any more. They're not super packed, which is what I like. So I really do like these fabric bins because it allows me to jam a lot of stuff in there, and there's a little bit of flexibility because it's fabric. But they do work better when they're fuller versus less full. So like here you can see that they're starting to flop over a little bit. So ideally it would be better to have something in here to prop these up. But for now, I think I'm okay. I don't think I have anything at this point that would make sense putting in here. I tried to separate colors a little bit, so I've got, this is actually in the wrong bin. I've got blues, greens, browns on here. I've got reds, oranges, pinks, and purples on this side. And that way when I'm looking for color, it's a little bit easier to find. Nope, not gonna work. It's too tight. So leave those ones out. I'll find something else to stick in here. And I think for now, I don't have a solution for my Copic or alcohol markers, so I am just going to put the extra bin in this one because I think it will fit. and I will think about another solution and come back to you if I do come up with something. Okay, so that is 2 small bins. The large bin, let me show you what I did with all my pastels and miscellaneous crayons and stuff. Okay, so in this bin I have my chalk pastels from Stampin' Up, from Faber-Castell, as well as from Master's Touch. I just have regular plain old chalk. I also have in here my oil pastels, Crayola pencil crayons, some Crazy Art wax crayons for our projects related to that. And this does fit, but it has to be at a slight angle, so that's why it's tilted, and I've got a little bit of room in here, which is kind of nice. I also had in my Raskog 2 other items. I had these Caran d'Ache water-soluble wax pastels and these colored pencils. I'm going to move these into my colored pencil storage, and I'm going to put these over where my other water-soluble pastels are, water-soluble crayons. So that is going to take care of this drawer and these items. So I referenced, or I just referred to these binders that I keep my pencil crayons in. I got these off of Amazon, and I love them. They keep everything organized, super neat. I can easily find what I want. They're absolutely fantastic. Now, I do have some metallic pencils here, and ideally I'd like to keep these together so that, you know, I know I have both of them. So I'm just going to do a little bit of juggling, and I'm going to move these here to the front and then these to the back. I think they should fit, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, so I've moved the pencils. Everything looks great. This will go back on my shelf, and I'll show you what the carts look like, because I think I am done for now. Okay, so this is what my cart is currently looking at, and you'll notice there is no sewing machine on the top. And that is because I moved my sewing machine. I'm sorry for the glare from the window. I moved my sewing machine up here, and what was up here was my mixed media kind of stuff, so what was up here was my mixed media stuff, like my layering and stuff. So that actually fits perfectly in this top of the Raskog. That one is empty, so I got a little bit of space to grow, and at the bottom I've got some mats and a cutter, just some miscellaneous stuff. If I absolutely had to, I could put my Big Shot in there, and that might be an option. I have a second Big Shot that I have tucked away somewhere else that might make more sense to put there. I don't know. I'm going to leave it empty for now, and we'll see how this plays out. So for the Tim Holtz cart, I actually have a kit that I'm working on the top here, and so basically my thought is I can just pull this right up to my desk. It's a little bit taller than my desk, so it's pretty much perfect. And in here is the one drawer that I showed you about. It's actually a basket, not a drawer. This one I have my blending solution, Copic blending solution, a couple of refills that I have, some nibs, and then some Gamsol. I just tucked in there for now. My Indian markers, my water-soluble markers, and then the one thing of Copics, and then there's my other Copics. So I can pull this whole tray out and put it on my desk while I'm working, or I can just pull out the bags that I want for the colors that I'm using, or I can just pull out the individual markers. So this is going to get tucked into this corner here. The wheels are super industrial, so this is really easy. And this actually fits even better than the other cart, so I'm thrilled with that. And then this cart is just going to move in and over on this side. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with this cart is that my printer extends out a little bit, so I'm not too sure about that. This one might have to move over. Anyways, you get the idea. This tucks away, so it's just if I'm printing larger pieces that I need to worry about it. Okay, that is it for today. I just did a bunch of shuffling to make this work. I'm very pleased with the outcome. Of course, who knows if it'll stay this way. Like everything, the organization, we're always tweaking and adjusting, right? So let me know what project you're working on in your craft room. I'd love to hear if you've tackled something recently that you're proud of. And until next time, happy crafting and happy organizing.